And welcome back. We miss you guys.
That noise
How
is
you
so
doing?
ugly that came out of you just now. That and fucking Poindexter. Hello, everybody.
We are two guys who run a podcast, and we've done 71 of these fucking things, and we're still not rich.
Yes, give me your money. There was actually something that I just looked at because I was going over our pod stats and for Buzzsprout. And there's like little medals you can get. And our next one is at 75 episodes and then 100. And then
Nice.
the ending one for that is 200 episodes. So guess where we have to go before we end up killing each other?
75.
75. Oh, shit. Episode 71 was just us kind of bullshitting like we always do. We have to get into the swing of things with like we do. If we're kind of rushed on it, we're going to catch up in the very beginning. Not that we have to give like a premise on what this is about. Give a premise? Give an idea. Yeah. I don't fucking know, dude. Whatever. It's episode 71. Just enjoy it if you want to. Go ahead and kick it off since you have to do it anyway.
All right, guys. Well, hope everyone's having a good week.
I don't.
Thank you for tuning in yet again.
No, don't.
This is episode 71.
No, it isn't.
With Nick and Tub. And we are going to start the episode now.
Yes! Welcome to the
Nick and Tub
podcast. That was good. Again, I'm always fucking stoked on it.
I want that fucking dumb podcast. I like it. It's fucking good shit.
That was so good. Dude, this is the best fucking thing we've ever done.
It looks really good on my screen when we clap like that. We'll never get used to it.
Tell.
We'll never get used to it.
No. I was like, damn, he was off that time, and you were like, I was on point.
No, it's on point.
I'd never be able to tell.
I think we're kind of getting a hold of it now, just a little bit, because
yeah, setup was fast this time.
Yeah, setup was fast. The clapping and getting audio ready and just all of it. It's good. It's good. Nice hat, dude. I'm sure
Thanks.
he'll be pleased that you're wearing that. Oh,
yeah.
Which, by the way, there's two hats. I got to do a giveaway for him that he asked me to do because he sent me two hats and they were white. And I was like, I can't wear white hats. I look like a fucking tool. So I don't know what it is,
like a
dude.
frat boy.
Yeah, like that's exactly what it looks like. Because I was showing Patrick and he's like, it's just a fucking white hat. And I was like, no, it's not just a white hat. Like it makes me like I'm a little too tan and a little like too clean to wear a white hat and not look like a fucking douche.
Joel and Dalton will wear white hats on occasion, usually when we go to the beach. And they go from like the homies to straight like Alpha Kappa Beta.
Yeah. It looks bad. And then you just got to get those the salmon pink shorts, pinkish shorts, and then the fucking, what is it, a polo?
Yep,
and some loafers.
Yeah, I don't know what the loafers are called. There's like specific ones. I think they're called like not sparrows, but like something like that.
And then you just got to
the answer right now.
Just got to do it to them.
Yeah.
So tell everybody what you told me right before we started.
Oh yeah, I am currently chilling. I have an ice pack under each foot, an ice pack on my back, and I'm drinking ice water. Not because I'm in pain, but because it's fucking hot.
Also, I just remembered I found the mic stand and didn't have time to give it to you.
Oh, all right. Well,
guess where it was?
Right under your nose.
Pretty much under our nose. I don't know why my brain didn't think about like, hey, it's a mic stand. Put it in the podcast room. That's why I put it in the podcast room in a corner. Because I like I told you, I didn't want all that shit sitting on the table anymore. So I tucked everything away behind one of the soundboards. And I forgot that I put that back there. But you'll like it. It's much better. And that way we can get the mic close to you and make you actually sound full. Because the only thing that I noticed as I was doing our audio was it's like a little less bassy than normal because you're not as close. So it's not picking it all up.
Let me scoot up a little.
But if you do that, then, you're going to be sitting there the whole time like this. So
yeah. I also have a fucking like 100-year-old chair that I'm sitting on.
Oh, that's rough. Why?
This is my Uncle Ed's desk that I got after he passed, and that dude was like a tank driver in World War II or tank gunner. I can't remember which one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so this thing's old.
I actually ended up getting the chair that I'm sitting in for like a third of the price. If you
Very nice.
if you end up finding a chair that you want, OfferUp is the shit, dude. That and Craigslist.
I was
found
going to
one on
ask if
Craigslist.
OfferUp.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely OfferUp. Dude, OfferUp gives a lot of crazy good deals. Like people are out there just like, I don't need this thing
People are
anymore.
just like, I need to get rid of this.
I
Get
know.
rid of it right now.
And it's fucking that's the same thing with this thing for anybody that's listening that's like a photographer or looks into photo equipment. There's a site called Fred Miranda, and the way my cousin describes it is it's a bunch of old heads that buy the newest gear thinking that they need it and then immediately realizing that they don't, and because they're already rich they just sell it for cheap. Like there are lenses on there that are like $900 off that are brand new.
Wow.
Like they said, oh, I used it once and I know I can't get the money back, so here's a $2,300 lens for $1,400. And it's like, why?
That's sweet.
Yeah.
There was some fucking sports resale place down in LA in a more affluent area that we would go to for baseball gear because it was the same thing. It was like all the rich dads got rid of their shit after a year because they want the new shit. And so
Yeah.
we get the year-old or 2-year-old shit.
I also just realized that the pants that you gave me, the snowboarding pants, which who knows when I'm going to use those, but I'm definitely going to keep them now for when I can use them. They're fucking complete overalls.
Yeah, they're sick.
I thought they were just pants. And I was just
they're
like, I don't
pretty
know what
cool.
I'm going to use these. And then like I undid them really quick because I was moving them. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't know why
Yeah,
I
they go all the
never
way.
opened it the whole time. I'm fucking
They
stupid.
keep you warm, but do not assume they are perfectly waterproof because they're not. I've sat on the snow and then next thing I know my ass is wet and I was like, oh, okay.
That's
So
a rough
just, like,
day.
Yeah.
Swamp ass, but in the cold. Gross.
Arctic ass.
How was work, Poppy?
Sorry everyone, we're gonna do a little small talk.
No, I mean I don't think, and just to give that preface, I don't think it fucking matters anymore. I don't think it honestly doesn't matter. Like
Right.
you had the whole sperm whale thing last time, and then the controversial topic that we talked about, and
I got 2 topics for you. I'll talk about work and then I'll dive into how last weekend went.
okay.
When
With
we
the
went
snorkeling, as
Yeah.
Sean likes to call it, scuba diving, and then corrects himself over and over and beats himself up about it. Hi, Sean.
Yeah. That's him. So work's dope because we hired another person in my department and went from like working our ass off every day and working overtime because we didn't have enough people to finishing early, like consistently.
Nice.
So it's pretty sweet. And I don't know, I've
An
been driving
actual-
big trucks now.
An actual reliable person working for that warehouse now. Oh my god.
Yeah. Let me plead the fifth.
Yeah, right. Fuck. Oh wait, yeah. Scott listens to this. Hi, Scott. Fuck.
No, that's Scott is a huge reason why we have a reliable person because he's helping conduct interviews and everything now. So he's part
nice.
of the worker selection
Hell yeah.
part.
Good
so,
shit.
Yeah,
I like to hear.
I credit him and Daisy with a huge part of that. But
Oh yeah, Daisy listens
Did
to
Sean
this too.
tell
Holy
you?
fuck, I gotta watch what I say.
yeah, hey guys, hey management.
Yeah, fuck.
Did Sean tell you about his encounter with the wildlife? this last
What did you
weekend?
guys name him? It wasn't Jeff, but it was something very
No.
simple.
It was Chad.
Chad. Got it. Yes.
So
Yes.
for all who haven't heard yet, everyone at my job has heard the story like multiple times. But as I said last episode, I decided I was going to go snorkeling and was like, fuck it. And I was originally just going to bring like 1 or 2 people and it turned into like fucking 8 people. But that's just how it is sometimes. And so a group of us went snorkeling in La Jolla and you are very close to the sea lions in their cove. Very close. Sean sent me a video that he got, and he is legitimately 3 feet away from 2 sea lions fighting each other in the water and like kicking up bubbles and causing noise. And he didn't realize how close he was until he kind of like looked up and they were just right there.
Those
but,
things will fucking destroy you.
They're terrifying.
They're
like I get in the water
huge.
And as a human being, I'm not built for that shit, so
No.
I am slow as fuck. And these guys are built for that shit. And they are like torpedoes. They will be on one end of the cove and could get in the water and take a bite out of you in like 10 seconds, if not less. And so there was one that was significantly bigger than all the other ones. And I mean significantly bigger. Like the obvious alpha male, he was like 2 Sean's. And for everyone who doesn't know, Sean's a big dude. And we snorkel for a while, right? Me and Sean and my other coworker, James, lasted a little longer than everybody else because the water was freezing. And so we went in for like 3 rounds of snorkeling, and I think everybody else did like 1, maybe 2. And by the 3rd round, we were like, all right, it's kind of time to go. Tide's getting higher. There's an entire other second spot we want to go to, and we need food. So we're like, all right, let's start getting out. So we start moving our way over to the cove, and there's like this like rock area that you can climb on, and it kind of has like a cliff drop off to the water, but it's only like, I'd say like 5, 6 feet high. So I get out of the water by climbing up the ledge with my friends, and we're all sitting up here. And James got out and went to our stuff on the sand. And then Sean, the last out every time, he's just soaking it up. He's loving it. And so he's swimming up, and there's a part where it just gets like, it's just all a bunch of rocks, and it's about like a foot deep. And Sean's just sitting on his ass, and fucking Chad, the big ass sea lion, is over there just barking up a storm down by one of the big rocks. And next thing you know, he turns over and he looks at Sean, and he's like, we got beef. And so he jumps in the water and speeds over to Sean, and then jumps out and looks at him and starts fucking galloping at him. And each time he takes a gallop, he's like, oh, 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 and he's getting louder and more aggressive. And Sean has like a GoPro in one hand and his like snorkel and mask in the other, and he still has his flippers on, and he is on his ass like kicking and trying to like move back as fast as possible, and we're all just watching in horror, like we can't do anything. And he gets about like 10 feet away from Sean, looks at him, and then just gets back in the water and swims away.
Oh no.
We were like, we need to fucking go.
Yeah, fuck all that. Sean, they were like, is that one of us? It kind of looks like one of us.
Yeah. I think he was next to me when I was fighting. I think he's next.
For all the weird looks I was giving you during all of that, again, we're going to deal with this. So whatever, we're going to ride through it, but it was off. I mean, you were talking and I was watching your mouth. It was another fucking movie.
That's going to happen.
I know.
I don't care.
That's the only reason is like I'm sitting here as you're telling a story. If you see my facial reactions, it's not to your story as much as it is like me trying to figure out how to fix it. But
I get it. You're not listening to me. It's fine.
I am. You fuck. But I'm also trying to keep the quality there.
So
keep going.
the second half of the day, so we leave, we get food, and then there was a second part where there was like a all sand beach rather than like a cove with like kelp and seagrass and bright fish and shit. This was just like all sand and clear water, and it went out for so far. Like I've never walked in water on the beach for that long and still been able to touch the bottom. It was like really weird. But this was the area where the leopard sharks were, and so we went out there because we wanted to go swim with the sharks. And you'd be standing in water about waist deep, and then out of nowhere, this like giant like black thing under the water would just like swim right past you, and it would like you'd be like, oh shit, there'd be a fucking shark. And so you throw your goggles on and you hop in the water and you start swimming next to it. And like these things are like, there were some that were like 5 feet long. Like these things were like almost as big as you.
We're already weak on land compared to like a bear or
we're handicapped in water
or a lion or even a fucking, like a goose. A goose will fuck you up.
I was going to say like a fucking deer would fuck you up.
And then like people, there's the belief that like humans do have a connection to the water. That's fine. That's cool. But we're not
like that.
That's not our territory. Like,
Not at all.
We can
No.
swim, and there's some fast swimmers, and we can do like cool things in the water, cool things.
Yeah.
But you get in there with something that's like, that's where it lives. That
That's
thing's
its
going to
home.
fuck you up.
Dude, you'd swim next to it, and I would swim next to it for a cool minute, like at least 30 seconds to a minute. I'd be going next to this thing, and then it would kind of notice that you were following it, and it just take off,
God.
and then you'd lose sight of it. And it's like,
I mean, I get that
they're
things
so
are more
cool.
like things are just as scared of us as we are of them, but it's still just
yeah.
that, because you have your humans that think about that, and we're like, maybe I shouldn't get too close to that thing. And then you have the humans that are like, oh, I could definitely beat that thing's ass. There are probably sharks that are like that too, where they're like, maybe I shouldn't fuck with them. And then there's that one dickhead shark that's like, ooh, I could take a bite of your bitch ass though.
Yeah, like
That
fucking
scares
Baker.
the fuck out of me, man.
Dude, and it's crazy because they disappear and they'll reappear just as quickly. Like, you'll just be standing there talking to friends, and then someone will be like, shark, and you'll turn, they'll be right at your feet.
No,
And it's like,
No.
ooh.
no.
But those were not what scared me or anyone else. Everyone else eventually got out of the water because of another animal in there that was
It
way
was
scarier.
named Sean.
Sean actually disappeared. He swam out to a fucking boat that was out in the water.
Of course he did.
And
Of
he like
course he
went
did.
at the bottom and he saw like flounders and shit. Like, that
That's
dude was
actually
having
kinda
an
cool.
adventure. But the animal that was terrifying us the most was the fucking stingrays. And they were everywhere.
Rest in peace to my boy.
Dude, so there's a thing called the stingray shuffle, and it's where you like walk in and then you like just scoot your feet along the bottom of the floor, because if there's stingrays, you just kick them and they're like, nah, and they like swim away. But what you don't want to do is step on top of them, because then they're threatened and then
Yeah.
they like take their stinger and come up and fucking get you. And so we're walking out there, and we've been out there for a cool minute, and I'm like, there aren't any stingrays out here. Like, I've seen like 3-4 sharks already, and I've swam with them, and I haven't seen a single stingray. And so I'm swimming about and I'm doing my thing. And then I go over to this like area where there's actually like some rocks and some like grass and some fish, and I'm checking them out. And then I go to like stand up, and I step on the ground, and the ground is smooth and slippery and moving under my feet. And I was like, Jesus Christ! Oh my God! And then as I say that, I hear James like fucking like 30 yards down go, fuck! And he stepped on one at the same time as me. And we were both like, stingray! And I go back, and so I throw on my goggles and I go underwater just in time to see this thing look at me and then just like, whoa, bury itself back under the sand and go invisible. And then I just get up and I look around the sea, and I'm just like, we're in a minefield right now.
Like I said,
I stepped on like 7 of those things, dude. It was just you're walking. Ground is moving under your feet. Oh my God, it's wiggling. Get off of it.
dude, like when you go in, like I said, when you go into something else's territory and then you look at it and it's just like, well, burrow right here and you're not going to fucking find me. Like, that's so fucking we don't do anything like that. We run or we fight. That's it. It's fight or flight. Not
We
like
build a house.
yeah, exactly. We build up walls and then decorate them. But I mean, it sounds fun as shit. I'd definitely go do it.
Oh,
but
dude.
like,
It was so cool. Like, you said you definitely would or would not.
would.
Oh, hell yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Like, it was so cool because like when you would snorkel and you wouldn't touch the ground, you could swim. And then if someone was in front of you, you'd watch them like be kicking, and then they'd like kick and the wave would like hit the sand, and then a stingray would like pop up and swim away.
Wild.
And like they were just all over the place, dude. They were just like kind of like floating they looked like they were flying. It was pretty cool.
That's actually really dope.
And yeah, and Sean saw one of the things like a flounder. Do you know what that is?
Feel like I do.
It's the one that has 2 eyes on the side of it. That's like, it has 2 eyes, but they're not on each side of the fish. They're both on one side of the fish.
Oh my
And
God,
they're
that
like-
pulled it right over the screen. Sick. Go
And
on.
they're like bottom feeders, kind of like how stingrays are.
oh,
Pull that shit up, Jamie.
this thing's ugly as fuck.
Oh yeah, they are ugly as fuck. And a fun fact about these things is when they're born, they are born. So yeah, that's pictures of them for anyone who's watching. They're ugly fish. They're flat. They lay on the bottom of the ocean. Yeah.
No, stop.
And-
Stop. Please stop.
And they have 2 eyes on the side of them.
Holy mother. Fuck,
Yeah, they can
that
get
thing
pretty
is
big.
huge.
They can get pretty big. So the fun fact about them is that when they're born with their eyes on both sides of them. And as they age and grow older, one eye will migrate across the body onto the other side until it's a flat fish with eyes on one side of it.
Is there a choice as to which one? Like, is it always one side?
I have no idea, honestly.
Ew.
I just know that they're born regular, and then as they grow up, their eye migrates over and goes to one side.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
They're fucking weird, dude.
Well, then again, we get old, our skin starts to wrinkle and sag. Sometimes our eyes will fall out, our teeth fall out. Fucking
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing for them. It's like that's their puberty. Like, so for us, it would be like
our
there's
balls
two
drop and
flounders.
their eyes move. It's
Yeah, I was gonna say there's
Tomato,
two flounders that
tomato.
like have a podcast, and it's like yeah, and their voice gets deep, and they start growing hair everywhere.
and they're like, they're fucking gross.
I hate them. Oh, look, they're huge.
I'm going out to Bass Lake this weekend. I was supposed to go to Yosemite, but it's Memorial Day, so there's no fucking way you're getting in there. And
Yeah.
so we're gonna go out to Bass Lake, and like lakes and like bodies of water in general. I think the first time I've gone in a pool in a cool minute was last weekend. I think it was. And just like sinking under the water after you haven't done it for, I genuinely don't remember the last time I was in a pool. Like, I don't know why it's been so long, but going down to the bottom and just sitting there and hearing nothing is so fucking terrifying. Because when you're not used to it, it's like a new experience again. And I'm thinking about when we're going to this lake and how we're just going to go like float out in the water and bring a bunch of like blow up tubes and all that kind of shit. And I'm like, this is such a vast body of water. And this
Dude,
isn't even like a
seriously.
very large body of water. And there's so many creepy things. Like when we were talking about, 33 feet, right? Was the depth of atmospheric pressure being twice
Oh yeah,
the amount?
33 feet adds an entire another atmosphere onto you.
And then it's just like, yeah, but if it goes down like just say 99 feet, then that's 3 times. It's so fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah, and like one thing that I completely like was wrong on when it came to like what I pictured in my head, like my own assumption was visibility in water. I figured you could see further than you can. I figured, and it depends day to day, like it ranges in the ocean, but you see way less than you think you do.
Oh, yeah.
Like your radius of visibility is like a few feet, and then any animal you were just looking at disappears.
No.
And
See,
so whatever
that's
is
what I'm talking
past
about.
that wall of a few feet, you have no idea.
Fuck all that. I love the thought of it from a distance.
From a
But, like-
distance, I love the idea of it from land.
Oh, dude, I always think about when those movies that have the planes crash in the middle of the ocean. I'm like, I think I would just end up having a heart attack because like that's one of my biggest fucking fears. To look around, you don't
Really?
see any. You don't see
For
any
some reason-
fucking land.
Dude, for some not seeing any land.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
that
like
would
no
suck.
land in the middle of
Being
nowhere,
stuck in the ocean. Yeah. I
trying
thought,
to
like
float. Fuck that.
Yeah. For a lot of people, like their fear is being in the ocean, like in the middle of the ocean. Even if you have a boat, just like floating in the middle of nowhere. Like,
Oh,
like with,
no,
you have no
but-
idea how deep it is underneath you, and there's just like this deep blue everywhere.
Yeah,
like
and
that
if I have a
terrifies people.
boat, I'm down for that. But like, if
Yeah,
I'm
I'd say that sounds like fun to me.
if I'm in the
But,
water
like,
because
being
my plane
stuck in the
crashed,
middle of the ocean with like no idea where land is, that terrifies me. Yeah.
that's no thanks. Would you rather?
Just
Go ahead.
I was going to say, just snorkeling alone, getting water in your mouth, dehydrates the fuck out of you. Being stuck out there with all that tempting water that you can't drink. Oh, God. Torture.
Would
What's
you
would
rather death by fire or by water?
Water.
Same.
Easy.
Same.
Like,
but then again,
they say death by fire is the most painful.
yeah. Fuck.
And I've heard stories of people who have drowned, and they said that when you drown, at one point you just kind of realize you're gonna die, and you kind of just
Let it happen.
you just let it happen. You just kind of like fall asleep. Whereas with like you just pass out and you don't wake up. Like, but with fire, It slowly burns through your skin until it touches every fucking nerve ending you have in your body, and then you succumb from injury after.
True. Good point. I mean, in the 2 times that I drowned when I was a kid, and yes, I mean actually drowned, it was not pleasant, and I did not just accept the fact that I was going to die. I panicked until I couldn't panic anymore, and then somebody pulled me out by that point. So I don't really know.
Did you pass out?
Started blacking out by the time I got pulled out, and then had the freak out when I was a kid and started crying and screaming. So I at least, got the air back in my fucking lungs, having to cough shit up and all that. But yeah, it was just not knowing how to swim, and one friend pushing me in the deep end of a pool, and then also being in Maui with my family and sinking down to the middle of a pool there too. So that was cool.
Dude,
it was fun times.
I was fucking snorkeling, and it was when we were looking for sharks. And I got to a point where it was like, I think probably 8 feet deep, and I was treading water, and out of nowhere, simultaneously, I get a fucking instant Charlie horse in my hamstring, and then my snorkel closed on me, and I started going under.
My
God. Like, oh my God, I'm dying. I was like, this is it.
Oh no, I can't swim.
Because like the snorkel has a little thing on top of it. When you go under, it closes so you don't get water in it.
Yeah.
But I was above water, and I was like,
oh God.
And then I cramped up, and I was like, all right, fate has me.
That's definitely something I want to do. Just haven't planned to do that. Dude, I want to start going on more hikes again now that the weather is eventually going to start cooling down a bit. Because obviously during summer, you can either go at 6 in the morning and be done by hopefully 9, or don't go at all.
Yeah.
Especially because I think we're getting hit with 105 tomorrow, some shit like that.
Yeah, I heard it was something like
That's
that.
fucking insane. But I want to start going on trips again, because it's like, I've had all this spare time. What have I been doing? Why am I just chilling at home? Oh my fucking shit. Friday, Saturday, 109. Sunday, Monday, 111.
Oh my God.
With a low of 67, 73, 75, 78. Why?
That's a huge range.
I know. What the fuck? No, I don't want it.
All
That's
the
why-
animals were going to die.
That's why we waited, because Andre was telling us, he's like, yeah, I can help you guys with the backyard. I get off at 3, 3:30. And we kind of agreed to that for a second. And then a couple hours later, Patrick comes in my room. He's like, I'm not fucking going out there at 3. He's like, we do it at 6, or we just don't fucking do it. Or I'll do it by myself a different day. But it was I think peak was 105 today or something like that, around 3 o'clock. So it was no. Dude, it's still 102 right now. And it's fucking 5 o'clock. Arizona, gross. They got hit.
I can't even imagine.
I have a buddy that lives out there right now, because we were talking about the weather, and he's like, oh, must be nice, because at 10 o'clock at night, it's 102 for us. And I was like, at 10 o'clock at night? The fuck do you mean? But yeah,
Small, cooler city.
that backyard is fucking terrible. I found out
Real quick before you get into it,
Yeah.
my recommendation for you, if you want to do something, but it's hot as fuck, is the only times I've been able to go out and do shit is when I go to places that don't have the same ecosystem or climate as us.
Yeah.
So going to Sequoia in July is fucking amazing, and
Yeah.
going to San Diego in August is fucking amazing. So
Yeah, I just need to start
you're down
looking
for the
into
drive.
shit. I just haven't. I don't know why I haven't. And then when I went to Fresno, I think I kind of got in this infinite loop of just wake up, eat, do things on the
Exist.
computer. Yeah, pretty much exist. And then eventually now it's just gotten to a point where the motivation is just not there to really do anything. I've actually been having to push myself to do shit, which has been kind of nice.
well,
But-
you you're social distancing yourself, so it's not like you can really just hit up random
I know.
or friends you haven't really seen and just be like, hey, let's go to Sequoia.
That's honestly what I fucking miss, dude. But it's getting a little bit better. I mean, we'll see as the days go. I don't know if I said it on the last podcast or not, but Patrick said, we got to finish up the backyard. We got to get it back to a good shape. I was like, for fucking what? And he's just like, I don't know, for whenever we have a party again. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I don't know. In 6 months, who fucking knows? I'm like, oh, that's nice to hear. I like that a lot. But yeah, dude, it got way out of hand. Like there's fucking weeds out there that are like 4.5 feet, maybe almost 5 feet tall.
That's crazy.
Because like you just don't
Man,
really
you
pay
missed
attention.
the outside so bad you started growing your own forest in your backyard.
It's all fucking weeds and just it's terrible. But the thing is like when we got the rain, that's what did it. Because when we moved in last year, it looked nothing like that. So it was just, eventually you don't go in the backyard long enough, and then Patrick's window looks at the backyard, so he's been seeing it for way too fucking long. So I get us having to go rip it out in a little bit here, but it's gonna be work. But man, he's gonna come help, and we should be able to knock it out pretty quickly.
Yard work is bittersweet. It's
I know.
rewarding, but sucks.
Yeah, like that's why I think at doing it at 6 isn't gonna be that big of a deal versus like doing it at 3 and fucking peak heat.
Yeah. At least the temperature will be declining as you do it rather than increasing.
But with like what I was getting at with staying inside and whatnot is streaming has been fucking so sick. Especially last night because I played games with friends. Some games didn't work out, all that stuff, whatever. But I ended up having like at max 20 people that were chiming in and like just shooting the shit. And I was like, this is kind of cool. And you get these like statistics afterwards. You get an email from it's called Streamlabs, and it was like 1,000 or 1.1K messages were sent in that night because there were that many people just fucking nonstop. And I mean, like crying, fucking laughing from some of this shit. And there's people from Illinois, Oklahoma. There's a couple and another person, so 3 people from Australia. And
how do randoms find you?
You get it depends on whatever algorithm Twitch runs at the time. There are like randoms.
So there's kind of like an explore page, and you get thrown on there for some people.
Kind of, yeah. You get like recommended channels here and there. The very first person that ever jumped into the stream at one point was this chick from where the fuck was she from? Not Finland. I can't remember where it was. Somewhere on the other side. It was on the other side of the fucking world. And I was just like, how did you come across this channel? She's like, I don't know. I just watch random streamers and then just tune in. And I was like, this is kind of cool. But no,
like, wow. So where are you gone?
Yeah, right. And it's cool because like I was telling them last night, it's just nice to just make friends and meet new people as you go. And especially when like they're just hanging out. I don't like the whole like, these are people that are supporting me. I don't care about that. I just want to shoot the shit with you. Just start a fucking conversation.
Friends.
Exactly. I just want that. Like, I just want to have a conversation. And that's all it was last night. And I mean, dude, it was going so fucking quick. I couldn't read it. And we were talking about like people just having, there was one guy that actually, Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's always in there. And he was talking about like how he has fucking 40 pairs of shoes and like 20 of them he doesn't wear. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And that started like this whole thing of people talking about like how many shoes they have. And that has been a goddamn lifesaver in that thing because I'm getting that communication. I'm actually like making friends, talking to people. They hop into the video chat or not video chat, into the audio chat, and they just shoot the shit in there. And then you start playing games with those people. And then before you know it, you're starting to build like this small community of people that want to constantly tune in. And it's dope. It's a good time. So that's been a big, big plus to starting this up and doing being stuck in the house and whatnot. So I can't complain too much.
I bet consistency on that helps as well. People can know that you're going to be on so that they can.
When you have a schedule, because at first I didn't, because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I didn't know how, like when you start that up, it's not as easy as people would think it is. Oh, you're just playing video games. Like, no, there's a lot to it. And I'm not even scratching the surface.
Doing this project has kind of given me the inclination that I feel like streaming would be a very complicated mess to get up and running.
I'll tell you right now, this is the easiest project that I've ever started. Just because like it's not too hard to just get 2 people together. And I mean, we're even running into problems with the schedule where I'm like, hey, do you have an hour and a half max to fucking record an episode on a Thursday?
You were like 4 to 4:30 tomorrow. I need an hour. Can you do it? Please say yes. And I was like, yes.
Because I had realized, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm coming back Sunday. Oh my God, I don't want to edit all day Sunday. So like I wanted to get this done so that I could come home, just put this together and put it out. But yeah, I would say this is the easiest project I've done. And like photography is one of those ones where like once you learn it, even just the extra parts of like sitting down and editing for hours at a time, that just gets fucking to a point of difficulty. And then video is a whole different story. But when it comes down to streaming, I didn't think it was going to be a cakewalk, but I also didn't know there was going to be this fucking much information. I'm not even kidding. I know maybe like 5-10%, if even that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's dope though. I'm having a lot of fucking fun with it, but it is challenging.
How much do you think it affects your gameplay?
A lot.
Yeah.
Too much. Sometimes it pisses me off because this isn't. What's even crazier is like,
you're like, I just want friends. I love you guys, and then you die on something you wouldn't have died on normally. And it's like, why don't you people just leave me alone?
There have been times where like I literally looked at and I was like, oh, and then just head blows off. I'm like, sick. That's exactly like had I not fucking kept running forward at that moment. And that's happened a handful of fucking times. But it's just a side note. Before quarantining, before the pandemic in general, I don't remember the last time I played this many video games like this consistently. And now it's in my head like, I don't know if this is ever going to stop, because now it's actually like building it's not so much
something bigger than just video games.
Yeah. And as corny as that sounds, it's not, because
it's a movement.
Oh, stop it. I hate that shit. I fucking that's what I'm trying to refrain from doing, is saying those fucking dude, I'm so tired corny of hearing it. Like, if you would have told me a year ago that I would be here, fuck off. Yes, we all know. We get it. We understand, like, you're happy. Shut up. I think that's such a
old man Nick is back.
No, it's
we get it. You're happy.
Boring, dude. It's boring to say. Everybody understands that. Everybody knows. Like, yeah, of course. If I told you, Caleb, that in a year you're gonna have $15 million that you're just rolling around in, you're gonna be like, no, it's bullshit. And then a year from now, you're like, if you would have told me, it'd be like, bitch, duh, fucking duh. Like, you can say that about anything. So I'm just trying to refrain from making it into this
cliche.
Like, yeah, exactly. I think I'm just overall tired of cliches. I'm tired of like, I don't even know how to really put it. I just keep seeing people reuse the same terms for everybody, and it's just like, you guys are the greatest fans I've ever had. It's like, they're just people tuning in, hanging out, dude. Yeah, they shoot you money, cool, but like, you don't have to. I don't know. There's different ways of doing it.
I'm split on your take. I totally agree that I think when people use cookie cutter phrases all the time, it totally kind of takes the genuineness out of it. Genuity. I don't know what the fuck. Genuinity. Yeah, it takes the realness out of it, because you're like, oh, you're just saying that because you have to. But at the same time, for the people who are really grateful and find themselves at a lack of the right words or terms, like, I totally get it, because like, even though it's one of those obvious statements where you're like, yeah, of course no one saw this coming and now you have success and that's great, at the same time, like, the statement has so much truth to it that sometimes people just need to say it, where they're just like, a year ago I wouldn't think that I'd be a successful person. I hated myself, and now I'm great. And so like, I want to thank everyone for it and blah, blah, blah. So I see both sides.
No. And the thing is like, I'm not exactly, well, I am shitting on it. I'm not trying to shit on it. The thing is,
because like, if you win an Oscar, like your Oscar acceptance speech is going to sound a lot like everyone else's Oscar acceptance speech, but that's because it kind of feels that way to win an Oscar. And so it's probably the same way for people who have success, like, let's say in Twitch, like, yeah, like, you wouldn't be able to do it without the fans and without the supporters and everything. But like, as corny and overused as that is, it's true pretty much every time people say it.
Yeah, but I guess the way I'm looking at it is, and this is just my take. It can be a shit take. It can be a good take. It depends on whatever you fucking take it as. I feel like there's simpler ways of saying things. Sometimes you don't have to like hype it up to this extreme level or whatever the case. There are big things that happen, right? You know, you make these milestones.
Nick's playing, someone donates $1,000. Hey, good looks.
No, but like, I don't know. I think it's just because there's so much that's constantly covered, and I constantly see. What I mean by covered is like you constantly see it on your feed, and you see everybody saying the same stuff, and it's just recycled over and over.
Yeah,
and it's just you're getting fed all this news. It loses its meaning, and then at some point, it's just like, yeah, I guess I'm sitting here shooting it down, but there really isn't a long list of things that you can say.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like variants of phrases that you can use in that situation.
I just like when I see people say like, hey, you know, I built this thing up and I'm just glad. Like if somebody were to just, I'm talking like a big streamer, YouTuber, fucking photographer, videographer, artist, whatever, right? If they were to just be like, hey, I took a long time to build this thing up and I'm happy with where it is now. And I'm just extremely thankful that people like the same kind of stuff that I've liked and have just kind of shown that they dig my work. Thank you. Like, I'm happy. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Because it's just like, I know it's plain and simple, but it's just stating like how you feel. But I think what I'm tired of is seeing this crazy hype where that's what it is you're looking at 1 million people and going, every single one of you are the best fucking people I've ever met in my life. And it's are they though? Because some of those people are telling you you're special. Fucking trash. That's it. That's okay. That's what I was trying to get out is like, everyone's special.
The Incredibles.
What?
I can't remember his name. I think it like starts with a V, but he's like, when everyone's super, no one will be.
That's my
the same
point.
Way with being special.
And I know that sounds like a really negative way of looking at it, but there are a lot of takes that people, it's the participation trophy shit. It's like everyone's getting built up on this same level. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way because then there's no like real success. There's no like, there's no individuality.
You might as well just say it as it is. Like rather than being like, every single person in this crowd is why I love my life or something. Just be like, this crowd is one of the best crowds. Because then at least you're not being like, every single one of you. Because like there are people there who came to the show or hopped in the stream who have never done it before and don't really know the band / streamer. And are just there because a friend brought them. And so it's like, you're saying this guy carries the same weight as the lifelong fan over here. Like,
and that's the other thing. And you definitely find people that say it the right way where they're just like, hey, I'm glad you guys are in here and it's cool to shoot the shit. And I'm thankful. Dope. Done. Just that makes everyone know that you appreciate it. That lets everyone know that you're having a good time. And that doesn't make everyone, because the other thing is when people do say the extremes of just like, you guys are the best fucking people that have ever existed. I'm like, how many people in there are like me where it just right over their head? Like they don't care. Like, I wonder if anybody's sitting in there like, yeah, I am the fucking best. Like, I'm the greatest fucking fan. Like, are you actually feeling this? Or like,
I don't know. Like, over exaggerations like that.
That's my point.
Painted as
we talked about that. Pointless. We talked about that with somebody specific where you were just like, every fucking thing that they do or every fucking, you know exactly what I'm talking about, is exaggerated. Mm-hmm. That was fucking great.
I went from drinking to trying to talk at the same time and was just like, pour it on your stomach.
Just like, yeah, let's just fucking drink this way. But
yeah, it's like saying
that's it. Was that
saying
point.
A place to eat is the best place you've ever eaten every time
over and over
means that it's just another place you've eaten.
This was one of the things that turned me off. This is a perfect example of like music, right? When me and Patrick and Andre would start going to shows, because we all kind of, seeing as we grew up together, we all kind of developed at the same rate of like when the bullshit, we stopped hearing, just this, like, you guys are the greatest crowd ever. And we're like, fuck yeah. We kind of developed the same mindset of like, okay, but you say that when we just watched your video, Vans Warped Tour on Sunday.
Cleveland.
That's my point. It's like, you guys are the best or fucking crowd that we've had. And it's like, dude, I watched the past 3 Warped Tour dates that just happened, and you said the same thing. And then you start realizing like, oh, I know that they're putting on a show, but they're following this exact script. And you're like, oh, it's a script. Like, it's not even genuine at that point. Do you even actually feel that? Or are you just letting the adrenaline carry you? And that's my point, is it's like, that's why I really liked Let Live. And that's why I like Fever 333, is because Jason, the vocalist was part of Fever and was part of Let Live.
I think I know what you're going to refer
I've
to.
talked about it before, but when he was like, he would sing a song. I forget what the song's called. And
then the fans would sing for him.
And he just put the mic down and he looked at his band and like tears started coming down his face. And he's like, do you fucking see that? Like that right there is that you can see him screaming it. He's like, what the fuck? And he let it like happen. That's genuine.
Yeah.
That didn't happen at every
definitely.
show, you know? And then there are the shows where like the crowd isn't participating and they're like, come on, we know you can do better. It's like, nah, dude, look at them. And I've seen bands where they're like more dickheadish.
I hate that shit,
and
dude.
they're dickheadish in quotes, where they're just like, what the fuck are you doing, you fucking pussies? I want to see you beat someone's ass. And I'm like, that's genuine anger. Good. That is you telling them what you want from them, rather than just like, come on, we're all in this together. Shut up. We're tired of it. We're all tired of it. And that is my spiel on all that. I just,
I get that.
It was just, it bothers me. I think I'm just tired of like everyone is special type thing. And it's like, no, dude, like in that book, by the way, I finished the book and it is
nice.
Which we'll get to in a second. The ending of it. Now I know where you were going with it. What was the point that you made in the last podcast where the book ends?
Well, it wasn't the end of the book. It was towards the end of the book, but it was talking about how people have their physical self and then they're like, bigger than themselves, self, and how they. And
as I was listening to that, I intently started listening because I wanted to briefly like go over that, which we can. I was trying to think because if there's serious about the fact that you have your physical self and then the self that you see yourself as, and like how it's like
your eternal self that It's not for people who haven't heard it. It's not like that woo-woo spiritual shit. It's more or less like there is this figurative self that exists outside of you, which is encompassed by all the things that you've done, all the people you've affected.
Because you know that your physical body is going to deteriorate, so you want to like be.
You're eventually going to fade away. You want something else there, like your mark on history, the things you left behind, the pieces you created to outlive you and live past you.
And I don't know. I was thinking on it and I just still don't feel like I have that, but I'm open. The thing that I was going to tell you was, as I was listening to it, I'm still open to being proven wrong on that, because I want to know like why I don't feel that way. Whereas like the work that I put out, the photos and all of that stuff is just for like current, whether that's current gain or just current engagement with people. But like, I don't know, if I died and my fucking Instagram account got shut down, if I could care, like after I died, I wouldn't care, because I'm just it has nothing to do with me anymore. And I don't know. I know obviously I'm not fucking unique in that. I'm not special, as we just went over. I know other people probably feel the same, but I want to know why in those books, and the one that, in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and then in the book that he quotes from the guy who wrote it, was 1974 he put that out, and it's still fucking like a huge deal.
Yeah, it's called The Denial of Death, I believe. I think it's by Ernest Hemingway.
Is that who wrote it?
I believe so. I have it on hold on my library app, so that shows you how poppin' it is, because there's a line to get it.
That fucking, what he was explaining that book is about, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to check that out, because that's kind of fucking scary how...
Ernest Becker, not Ernest Hemingway.
I was gonna say Hemingway sounds not
Who
accurate.
Is Ernest Hemingway? I mixed that name up.
I don't know, but I had a feeling it wasn't that.
Ernest Hemingway was an American journalist, novelist, and short story writer and sportsman.
Right, but I think he wrote like completely different stuff off of like scientific discoveries and whatnot.
He was an author, but not this author.
Not that one. But I just want to know like why it is that the work that he wrote and his findings on it, I
We're so
only
revolutionary.
no, not why they're so revolutionary, but why I feel like they don't apply to me as much as he claims that they apply to everybody.
Yeah,
I'm like open to hearing that. I want to know why.
I'll definitely bring it up when I listen to the book.
Yeah.
And give a little greater detail.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely an interesting concept, and I think more than likely, like most things, we probably know jack shit about what he's actually trying to say.
A summary of a guy's fucking life's
nothing.
work is not gonna do it. So that's
so
what I'm saying is like I'm super open to learning about it and wondering if he means everybody or if he is saying like to some extent you feel that way.
Yeah,
because
he may have a lot of nuance involved with the spectrum of how strongly you feel that urge or don't feel that urge.
Right, because like if I had my work hung up in somebody's house, I'd be like, that's cool as shit in my current alive life. But like if it, got thrown out at some point, I wouldn't feel like, wow, that didn't outlive me or whatever the case. I want to know about it. So I'm probably going to listen to it. But you said it's Libby, right?
Yeah, Libby.
Okay. I'm probably going to hop on board with that. And
dude, it's the shit. I fucking love it.
My audiobooks from, what is it? Fucking Amazon one?
Audible.
Thank you. That's running out in like a couple days, which is why I burned through the ending of that book, which by the way, when The Subtle Art ended, I felt I hadn't finished, and you could make a joke at this, other people can. I haven't finished a book since I was like in 7th grade. I don't remember the last time I finished a book.
I would make a joke, but that would be me making a joke about literally like half of everyone I know, if not more. So
because like I get information other places. Obviously, I'm not illiterate. I'm not a fucking idiot, even though people on streams say that I'm a boulder and can't read. But it's a fun fucking joke. But when I finished it, I was like, is this how people feel when they finish books? Because I'm hurt. Like I'm sad, and I feel like a part of me, it's like a void now, and I'm like, I kind of want to fill that with another book. I kind of want to like finish something else.
It's been for me. Like I feel this sense of like accomplishment with like, yeah, like that's the complete work. Like I consumed the entire thing. It's all in here. Like I'm able to like really say that I like got to hear the entire message that this person spent probably years working on.
Yeah.
So that's huge. But at the same time, you're like, dang, like I was enjoying that, and now I'm not doing anything anymore. Like, what the fuck? And so that's how it's been for me, man. I've been hopping from book to book.
I realized over time with myself that I am not good at letting things go, and so like I'm sitting here, I'm like, I think I need to read that book again. But dude, I think it has a lot to do with what you and I talked about on the walk that we went on like a couple weeks ago, when you were explaining, podcasts are. It's a form of knowledge, whatever you want to take it as, or entertainment that is kind of just people spitballing for the most part,
the whole time.
Because you're thinking about what to say next. Whereas the book is years of writing, years, if not sometimes decades of fucking
Life
writing
work,
and studying. And then it's all, what's the word I'm looking for? Composed?
Yeah, it's all like all put together.
Yeah, it's a put together. Dude, we're really good at words today. It's all put together into one, whether that's a fucking 200-page book or fucking 800-page book. But when it's done, it's like, holy shit, that was so much information and so much like it's emphasized that feeling of connection with it because it's accurate.
Yeah, I mean like
whereas we're like comprised, I think put together. No one gives a fuck about this podcast when it's done.
Yeah, I think Phoenix is the capital of Arizona, or is it Tucson? Phoenix.
Okay, go on.
But yeah, it's nice to get like if you're listening to nonfiction, obviously it's nice to get like statements straight from like the horse's mouth. Like you get it straight from where it's coming from, and you don't have to wonder, oh, I wonder if this is true. Well, like the person who's writing this is an expert on the field, or citing where they heard it from, so you can take it pretty much as it is. And B, it's pretty humbling to be able to say that like somebody's like dedicated a huge chunk of their life to a certain topic or an idea, and then spent years crafting this book so that other people, like, not just crafting it as like a log of their of like the stuff they learned, but crafting it so that it's digestible to other people and presented to a reader, like they look forward to somebody taking in this information, and being able to like go through someone's like years and years and years of diligence in like 10 hours is just crazy.
Yeah.
And I was learning earlier, I'm listening to a book right now called Sapiens, and it's talking just about human beings and like our start and like the history of us as a creature, if you will. And they were talking at one point they were talking about how like books were not like they are now, in a sense that before the printing press, everything that was a book was hand copied. And because it took so much time to copy like 500 pages letter by letter over into another book, books were only for the elites. Like you could only get your hand on a book if you were
a scholar.
Yes.
Oh my
exactly.
God, I need to stop hitting my desk. Sorry.
And so because of that, like the common peasant, which modern day is you and I, had no access to these wonderful works of Shakespeare or of Socrates or of Marcus Aurelius, because those were stowed away in the libraries of the kings and queens and generals and all the fancy schmancy fucks that actually got to read it. And so just the fact that we like can download an app on our phone and go listen to some of like the greatest works of history, or some like super diligent cutting edge science, or like one of like the most like art, like tasteful fiction novels ever written, it's just insane. And the fact that each one of these took people like unreal amount of time to do, as I grow older, I grow much more appreciation for it. And I think that's why I've been on my book binge.
That's a really good point with the whole, like, as you get older thing too, because you start to realize as you do more and more, you know, jobs or create things in your own life. Sorry, something popped up on the screen. You realize the amount of work that goes into it. Whereas like when you were a kid, you're like, I don't want to fucking do AR reading. Like, what the fuck is this? I'm not going to take a test out. This book is stupid. And it's like, no, dude. Whether it's fiction or nonfiction, you know, it could be fucking science or about fairies. Like somebody took a lot of fucking time to write that shit.
Yeah.
And when you get older, that's when you look at it and you're like, oh, I'm kind of like extremely grateful that you did this. And that's the same thing with any art too, you know? That's why I stopped saying that music is trash if I don't like it, because that's not fair. That's not fair to say, like, just because I don't like it, just because, you know, there are, to some extent, and I will state this until the day I die, there are some artists out there that don't give a fuck, and they're just trying to get a quick buck, and they're making shit music.
Yeah.
But to say that it's trash and other people like it, you know,
who are you?
Exactly. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Oh, I can sit there and be this
king
arbiter
of music
of,
taste.
yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's right to necessarily shit on something, again, unless it's like they're mumbling.
Unless you've openly stated what your standard is, and then this thing is far, far below the standard, and you're like, this thing sucks. Then,
well, I mean, like straight up, if they're mumbling, like I'm talking actual mumble rap where they're not really saying words and there's no meaning behind it, and they're just going along with a beat or some shit or over guitar. Like even with heavy metal, there was somewhere I was like, for real, for real, this is okay.
I think my biggest beef with rap is rap coming from people who you can straight the fuck up tell everything they're saying is a lie. Like,
that's also what I'm getting at.
I have no problem with people like telling a story or exaggerating.
I
if
kill
they
people.
like go out and admit they're like, hey, it's bullshit. But like, I feel like that's a huge reason why I don't like Nav so fucking much. Like I have such a problem with Nav, is because it's this little bowl cut chubby Indian dude who is rapping and saying the N-word and is like, oh, like I got some shooters that'll fucking pop your top off. And it's like, no, you don't, you little boy. He's like, oh yeah, I got a threesome with 2 bad bitches in the back. It's like, Nav,
No, you don't bowl cut.
Nav.
Like,
Yeah, like
back up.
please, buddy. Let's slow down a little bit. Like,
What about Russ, dude?
Yeah, you probably
I
did.
think Russ is one of the best artists.
You're not getting the
The
reaction
fucking-
out of me that you want.
the fucking you just hang up. But yeah, same,
that would
same
be funny.
just ends the call, ends the podcast. I think they kind of fall into the same thing where it's just like, okay, you're not actually, it's what I was talking about earlier. You're not meaning what you're saying. You don't actually even believe half the shit that you say. And if you do, it's because you've just been lying to yourself this whole time. It's just like, stop with the over exaggeration, dude. Just fucking, hey, take it right back down to earth. Like just right here, right at the coastline where everybody else is. Just hang out.
And although people are stupid on average, people do have
On average.
a pretty good nose for bullshit and for people who are straight the fuck up lying out of their ass. And like,
I think
I
you're
have
giving
no
people
reason
a lot
to
more
not
credit than they should have.
Yeah, like I have no reason not to believe Nav other than the fact that I'm just profiling him based off of how he looks.
Yeah.
But then like some fucking post came out about how Nav was like upset that he like had came out of a show or came out of a store and he was wearing designer and there was like no paparazzi flooding him. And it was like, dude,
Eat my fucking,
like
eat my
nobody
fucking
cares.
dick.
And he was like, just like, yeah, like, you know, like just that entire idea. It's like, yeah, that totally lines up with the type of person I thought you were. Like, you're not putting a quarter brick on his head. Like, you're not.
I'm so fucking that shit. I can't wait until the world is just wiped out by a fiery death. I don't know. When I think about that kind of shit, joking, obviously.
Very culty of you.
When I think about that, it makes me so mad, dude. It's like,
Dude,
what the
I think-
fuck does that matter?
I
Get
think
over
the thing
yourself.
That makes me, the thing that makes me equally as annoyed as the people who want to lie about all this shit so that they come off as cool is
Or the people that
who-
get mad at it.
Well, yeah, fuck these people. Is the people who go out and do those things because they want to be seen as cool. So like
Right.
the people who will actually go out and like start drinking lean because all the rappers say lean is cool and all the fucking people that they want to impress do it. And so they're out here popping Zans and fucking drinking that dirty because they want to fucking fit in. They want to act cool. And again, people have that censor for bullshit and they see right through it. And either they call them out or they don't say shit. But on both occasions, the person's more than likely just more motivated to commit even harder to do dumb shit. Not because they actually like the shit they're doing, but because they really want that acceptance.
I don't know why he came into my head because I know that he knows his music is pretty much a joke. But did you see that video of Young Gravy jumping off the car?
No, I didn't.
Holy fucking shit. He was celebrating and he was standing on top of a car and he went to go jump off right when someone opened up the door. So he caught his fucking nuts right on the corner of the door and then his head went toward the fucking asphalt and he just... Hold on. I will pull this up really quick. I was crying. I was like, this
Oh
man
my
got
God.
fucked up.
Dude, I love Young Gravy. He's such a joke.
I know you do.
He's so funny. That fool's like 6'5", dude.
Is he really?
He's fucking huge.
That's a tall motherfucker. That's a tall glass of water. Drink of water? Glass of water. That's a tall person.
But yeah, Young Gravy and BB No Money are running the white rap game right now.
The fact that there's a separation of the two upsets me.
Hey, it's separate but equal.
He said, just trying to celebrate my new song release and they do me like this. And this shit. Okay, hold on. Damn, bitch. Hold on. Let's see if I can fucking...
Oh my God.
That man ate fucking shit. Actually, hold
Holy
on. I think
shit.
there's a better way. Just... Oh no. Oh God. I think there's an easier way that I can do this.
I was about to say, I'm surprised you didn't screen share it.
I totally can. Dude, we're doing this whole thing, and I forgot that
We
you can
have
even
the
do
technology.
this. We do. That we do. I just want to see if this works out as well as I think it will. But just so people listen. I was gonna say just so people listening know, they fucking see the timestamp coming up to an end. I do have to
Hey,
wrap
Nick,
it up
looks
in a
like I
little
have
bit
a
here.
really big head and no neck.
Let me see. Oh, I can. Nice. Sorry for people that heard that quick little snippet there. Nice. Okay.
Beautiful.
Fuck, man.
He eats shit so
Fuck.
fucking hard.
Just doom. Sucks to suck, dude. Sucks to fucking suck.
Oh my god. I think he was jumping off his fucking Tesla.
Probably.
That sucks.
Whatever. He's rich.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I actually like this. This was good. Like, not that they're ever bad, but it was like it turned into I had no idea. We never know where the fuck it's going. We don't have a list of shit.
Hey,
Shut
Nick,
up,
were
dude.
you about to say you didn't had no idea where this podcast was gonna go?
Oh yeah. Wow, that spiked really fucking hard. That's probably really loud.
There are people like whose ears are ringing in their car right
They're
now.
just like, oh my god, someone just crashed. They crashed immediately. I think that's pretty much it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm feeling good.
Short and sweet. I'm down to wrap it up.
Yeah, they're going to be shorter here and there. I think our first one was like an hour and 45 minutes. When I was like,
Yeah, we
oh,
said
it's
it
going to
was
be like
gonna
an
be an
hour. You never
Yeah.
fucking know,
Hey,
dude.
we did the thing that we always fucking do.
We try and plan ahead, and that's exactly why we don't, because
We're like, hey, we're gonna make this one short, and then that's the intro to the 3-hour podcast.
fucking stupid. So stupid. It's that's why
People
I like
listen
that
to
we
it,
do
though,
the
dude.
intros at the end, because then we're like, oh, okay. Now we know, like,
Yeah.
hey, don't listen to us for the first 45 minutes because we have no idea what we're talking about. The fact that, oh, we're not gonna know what to talk about. I think that's. I'm trying to think if like there's anything that we need to end on. I know the one thing that we really need to get back into is doing all those like Google Notes that we were sharing for a minute that we were taught about. You know, we had like Google Docs that we were sharing and we were adding to.
Okay, yeah.
We need to get back to that because that was showing us how to organize not only our thoughts but like the structure of things that we need to do again. So we'll hop back into that.
Definitely.
I'll have a bunch more shit to talk about next time, and we'll actually have more time to do so because I just realized there's a lot that I can talk about. But until then, you're good?
Solid.
Cool. Episode 71.
Yeah.
Nice. We never have any idea what the clips are going to look like or what the intro is going to look like.
But we figure it out anyway.
Yes, we do. Okay. Thank you guys for listening. It's the Nick and Tub Podcast, episode 71, and we will see you next Monday. Goodbye. Oh, go fuck yourself.
Love you guys. Bye.